So, we're just talking about a little bit of blues here. That's kind of how we use the thirds. I was just playing thirds. And that's where we were in Blues Lab number 1, which was last week. We were talking about thirds, and I was trying to play the thirds. So this week we're going to talk about how to find these thirds and how to find the notes and get a little bit more familiar with where they are. But let's just kind of have a little bit of review. Blues Lab number 1, we were talking about what is the blues, and you know the color blue, it's kind of the color of sadness, right? And so we got to this, we talked about this guy Milton Brown and his Musical Brownies, which was a band back in the 30s, a Texas, kind of a Texas swing band, Texas country blues band. The blues ain't nothing, the blues ain't nothing but a good boy feeling bad. The blues ain't nothing but a good boy feeling bad. So I mean, the blues doesn't just mean you have to be talking about how bad you feel all the time. You know, it can be just an instrument to express that you are caring about something. And so however you use that, it's up to you. But what we talked about is that we looked at the thirds and we looked at some of the notes and how that blues can just take you someplace. So you can take you from feeling bad and expressing that to feeling good, or just why you're feeling bad. And maybe, you know, it's up to you what you do with that. A lot of people think that that's a way to get inspired to do something about something. But anyway, it's up to you. But basically, these are the tools. So this third, and so we were listening to a blues track, just so you know, and I have, let's see, if you want to find a place to play along with, because it's really good when you're doing stuff, all you got to do is type in, hope you can see this, type in blues shuffle in A, so that way what we're working on, you can do it in a more fun way. And it's also important to do these things kind of with a beat, like a metronome, but also just a beat. So you type this into the YouTube, blues shuffle in A, and you can play along with something. You know, like today, so what we were doing, we were just kind of hitting the thirds. Yeah, so thirds. So you can turn that on YouTube and you can practice the stuff. And so what we're going to talk about today is how do you find out where you are on the guitar? And we're going to use this thing, it's called the caged system. And why is it a cage? Okay, well, and why are we using this caged system? Because I think what's important is that if you use this caged system, which I'm going to explain in a minute, it's a way that when you're learning and training, you can be having more fun, okay? So you can put on a backing track and you can kind of like start learning basically how to express the simple stuff you're feeling, okay? So what do I mean by that, simple stuff you're feeling? So I got this, I'll let you take a look at this. They're called the 5 caged shapes. And we're just going to talk about the simple ones, but why is it caged? Okay, well, here we go. E, D, C, A, and G. But basically, when they invented this, the most important one I think we're going to start with is this E. But it's like C-A-G-E-D, spells caged. So that's why it's the caged shapes. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with this first shape, and it's an A. It's kind of like the A form, and then take a look at this A form here. It comes from this this kind of this E shape. Here it is. Here's a basic. See this E shape right here? It's basically this thing. And you can move it all up the neck. You know, you move it up to here, you got an F. Move it up to here, you have an F sharp. So it's like this. Okay? So here it is. Let me see if I can turn this better. Can you see me? Yeah. So there's the E, because that's an E note. Now we're going to kind of hang out an A today. We're just going to take it easy. So this is this A shape. So you kind of need to know, we're going to work on just like where the third is in this A shape. So it's like 1, 2, what's the third? Like from a scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a basic chord, we're not going to get into a whole lot of chord theory because you guys probably know about that, but basically a chord is just like the first note of the scale, third note, the fifth note. That's the basic one. And then in blues they add another note. This flat seventh. It's not the real seventh, it's the flat seventh. The real seventh is this. But that doesn't work for blues. The blues ain't nothing. That's for these songs. You know, it's like for the beautiful songs. Good morning, evening, friend. Okay, so anyway, but we're in the blues. So we got this flat seventh. So 1, 3, 5, 7. So here we are in this cage shape. So it's real important just to take it easy, slow, but really nail this thing so you know the names of the notes. We're in the key of A. So it's A, C sharp is the third. And so it's a good idea to kind of know the names of these notes. And then you can do it for G, but for right now we're just in A. So here's this third. Look what you can do. Now I'm going to go on hit. Here I am in the cage shape, and I'm just going to hit the flat third. So there's the root. So this is your A. It's good to know where that A is. That way you can go with it. So here, now check this out. So when you're playing around, just pay attention and so see if you can. The idea is to make up stuff that feels good to you. Hear something that you're feeling and put it to this backup track. And pay attention to what you're hitting. So, you know, and you guys know what the flat seventh is. Everybody plays like, okay, so that's from Cream, right? So what's the sound, man? This is an important thing. Here we're on the one. It's an A, right? A. So what's this? You guys do this all the time, but now it's a time you're in this shape, this A. And so you kind of need to know what is this A? This is the 1 or the 8. So when you're doing this, you're going to the flat seventh. Or let's say you're playing Superstition by Stevie Wonder or So this is 1 flat seventh, and now we're going to hit this flat third. And then we just go da, 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 4 up to 5. Okay? So you can just make something up really simple. So start making up your own thing and having fun. So turn on the shuffle thing. So here we go. some stuff up. Okay? So you got this one form. So just know what the third is in this cage shape. Then you got another cage form that's real important. So you got this chord here. If you lift up the little finger, you got an A7, right? See it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat 7, 8. So ba ba, and that's your blues sound, right? And then you got the 7th here. So so here we are in this form. So check this out. So you can do cool stuff. 6 and 7th is a cool thing. You can just bend up to the 7th. Now, okay, here we are, the shape. Now, this is the 3rd. So you kind of need to know the 4th, because the 4th that's the name of the 4 chord in the A blues. You need to know the names of the notes in the scale, because the first note is the A, the 4th note is a D, and that's the chord for the 4 chord in the D blues, and the 5 chord is an E. So what's the 4th? Well, remember our chord is 1, 3, 5. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So C sharp, D is the 4 chord. So you can put your finger on this 4 and on the 6, and you can just do a little bend. I'm on the 4, and then check this out, man. I go from the flat 3rd to the 3rd. So the idea is to do this stuff in a nice, kind of like a fun way, but a slow way, because that's when you can, a lot of people can play a lot of fast notes, but you're going to be feeling something. So this is how you get your feelings out. So start feeling stuff, get in these shapes, and play them. So like, here we go. So you got this. Now we got, what's the next shape? Where is it? So, caged. But I start with this E shape. So we did this E shape. See it right there? That's this A. That's the A. Okay? So now we're going to do the next shape. We're not going to do this D shape. But what we're going to go to next is this C shape. Okay? And there's a bonus chord I'm going to throw in there. See this C9th? Why am I throwing in the C9th? Because in the cage thing, we go by the root and how the things relate. So here I am in this first form, the form 1. It's based off like this E. Here's the root. You got to know where the root is. Here's the next root. Okay, now for the 4 chord and for the next form, we're going to do this C form. Remember, you got down here, here's our C, right? And it's always good to see if I can get it in tune. So there's a C. What happens if I move this? Here's the root. So how do I make this form? We just move this form, move it up. So now I have a D, because that note is a D. So here's our D. And now, you guys ever played this? This is your basic blues chord. There's your C7th, right? So you can put this up here, and now you got the 4 chord. So you go, the blues ain't nothing but a good boy feeling bad. The blues C7. I mean a D7. So this is there's that C form. Okay. So you got this form, and you also, okay, so we have this form, and also on this root we're going to put this other one is an important. So we got the cage. So the A from the cage shape would be this A form. Okay, so I'll do it. I'll show you this A form right here. Okay, this A form. Got it? A form. Let's see. Okay. And anyway, but it looks like this. So down here it's an A. And then you move it up to here. C. Now it's a D. And if I just make it like an A7th, it's your 7th. But basically, we need to know where the 3rd is. So when we're here on this C shape, 1, 3, 5. Okay, but anyway, we're not going to get too much into that. Just we're going to concentrate first on this main shape here. But now we're moving into this A shape. Okay, so it's good to know where your 3rd is on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2. There's your 3rd. So you go, and then other 3rd. So if you could just learn the 3rds on these 2 chords. This one, there's the 3rd for this one. Then you got this chord. Here's your 3rd. How can you remember what the 3rd? Here's your 3rd. There's a D, there's a D minor. See, I lowered the 3rd. D minor. So you can take that 3rd, just like we did and we played around with it. And if you get to know the notes in this form, check it out, man. You know, you can go, just know what they are. D, F sharp, G, get to know the neighboring notes in the form. So here you go, 3rd, root. So you can always go 3rd, bend it up to the flat 3rd, and land on the root. Now here's your 3rd, so you can do it, and you can like play within the chord. So you can do this C form on the walk down, so you can go. So see, it's your C, because you know this is the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. So flat 3rd. Time. Yeah. So back up to 1, flat 3rd, dead. Okay. I'm going to go down to D. Now I'm in my D, right? So I can play the 3rd. And then you got that sound for the James Brown song. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Now I'm going to go off of this chord. Now I'm going to go off the, okay? Okay, a little bonus thing, a turnaround thing you can always use. So here we are. So I'm on the root, and then I'm on the flat. I'm on the flat 7. Now I go to the 6. So it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we are. So you kind of know, getting the note. So just takes your time and get to know where these intervals are. Okay. Now this is one that it's flat 7, 6. It's kind of an in-betweener, in between the 6th and the 5th. And now you're on the 5. And then we do the third thing on the E. See the flat? See this? G is the flat 3rd. Here we go. Just like this is. We can go. Put the 7th in there. So that's pretty much the deal. So we're just going to stay in this A thing, and if you can only just figure out, just play around with the intervals in this main chord. Then go to this second form and find your intervals in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is your 3rd, flat 3rd, and there's your root. So it's just root. So. And that's your 1, 3, 5, 6. And so, or just so, and you can even mess around with this C one. It's like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. I got sunshine. But anyway, so the deal is, guys, this form, the E chord. So I guess that would be, okay, so for the cage shape, remember it's the C form, the A form, which is the, and then which we kind of did both of those, the C and the A, and then we went over to this E one. The E one was our first one we did, okay? So we worked on this E form, which is now, since it's an A, it's an A chord. And then we worked on this A form, which is up here at the D. Okay, so just see if you can like, so you can bend it from the 6th to the 7th. So you're on your D. 6th, 7th, 5, 3rd to 3rd, flat 3rd to 3rd. So, Blues Lab number 2. So I hope you guys got something good out of this. Leave some comments on Instagram. It's going to be on YouTube. Anyway, I'll do a Blues Lab Part 2 or something. Okay? Again. So